Back in 1950, there were only 200 million people aged 65 and over globally. But in 100 years, so by 2050, that number is expected to increase to nearly 2 billion. Yet handset manufacturers are still not convinced about this lucrative demographic and are more concerned with jam-packing the latest features onto a device. In this special video report, we put the spotlight on Emporio Telecoms and how it's bucking the trend by catering to the over 60s. Hi, I'm Leila Makki and you're watching Press Play. In the United Kingdom, for instance, half the adult population is currently over 45. But ironically, a large percentage of society that could benefit the most from mobile phones are often the ones alienated. Most handset manufacturers are turning a blind eye to those with a different set of mobile requirements. Emporio Telecom is one of the key players in the senior market and have been going strong for over 20 years. Co-founder Pupeter-Fellner came up with the idea to create a senior-friendly mobile phone after he visited his mother one Sunday afternoon.
Whenever I came to my mother for the weekend lunch, she asked me some questions on her mobile phone. I explained it to her, she understood. Next time I came, I had to explain it again. And then I was worrying, is something wrong with my mom? Why doesn't she understand? And after a while, I realized nothing is wrong with my mom. There's something wrong with the mobile phone. And this was the point where I decided to develop a mobile phone which my mom can easily understand and use, and also all the other senior citizens will enjoy using this mobile phone.
There's competing pressure in the mobile industry to lead on features. Vendors are obsessed with higher megapixel cameras, faster processor speeds, app stores, and capacitive touch displays. But there's a widening gap for those who want a phone to talk and text. Emporio Telecom is continuously researching the needs of the elderly and how to serve them the most suitable experience.
Research and development at Emporia means that we work together with our target group and we develop together with them their products. We try to find out what all about their needs when it comes to mobile, and in focus groups, single interviews and research, we try to find out their needs, and this is the base for the development of our phones. At the same time, we work together with the best partners on usability and likability, like University of Cambridge and University of St. Gallen.
Hosking is a senior research associate at Cambridge University. He argues against lumping the senior market into one segment, as they vary from iPhone users to no phone to everything in between.
As we look at that market, it's hard to appreciate just what it is like to be older, what your eyesight might be like, what your hands might be like, and from a cognitive perspective. So we address that by having simulators that restrict your vision and restrict your dexterity with your hands. And that gives an insight, particularly to younger people, what it's like to use those phones. What we have here are simulators that simulate the level of loss you might get through something like arthritis or through some other condition. And you can see that this restricts my hand movement. Not only does it make it difficult, but actually makes it quite painful as well, which is indicative of how it might be with arthritis. Now, when I'm using a phone like this, and it could be any phone here, it happens to be an iPhone, but really many phones start to become more difficult. You can see that I can adapt with this, what we call a cradle grip. I have to start to think more carefully about how I turn it on. Some of these gestures are relatively easy, but then when I start to text, oh my word, how am I actually going to do this? And it starts to become very difficult. Let's look at something different here. Moving to a model with a keypad. Okay, this is more restricted in what I can do, but at least I'm in the ability to make something simple like a phone call, or I can consider doing something like a text message, and the buttons are of a size that at least I can do these kind of basic functions in doing this. So you see that actually things start to become very, very different as you age and have these kind of issues with your hands.
But what happens when your eyesight starts to deteriorate?
These glasses restrict my vision, which become quite difficult to put on with the hand restrictors. I'm going to have a little bit more difficulty turning it on. And the interesting thing is, that when I look at this, some things are actually quite visible with these glasses on, but there are some elements that become more difficult to do. So again, within that text message thing, I can see, for example, the letters, but I'm struggling to see, for example, the send button. So again, the important thing here is size, shape, and contrast when we look at visual things. So this handset has a white on black screen, which offers me good contrast. It also has the ability to increase the size of the fonts. So it shows that actually with an understanding of what happens as we age, then we can do things about it. The important thing is that we don't bolt these things on, but we build them into the design of the handset. That's really critical. And that often hasn't happened over time. So we need to start at the beginning and see how these things can be integrated into the design of the handset, so it becomes a natural part of customizing it and making an experience that I can use as I get older.
As a generation that has grown up with mobile phones ages, their needs will also change. And this could mean future handsets with greater access to email, web browsing, or video chat. But one thing's for sure, companies like Emporio Telecoms will continue to cater technology so people can live a more independent life. Thanks for watching. I'm Leila Makki, and see you next time.